Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. The match between England and Croatia has just entered into the second half of extra time. Nervy moments, nail-biting moments for the fans. At this point, if you blink, you start asking, what happened? You can't afford to blink.
Yeah, absolutely, you can't. And I understand the Croatians came close to, getting the second goal, and that would have been a heartbreak for the for the England team. And I just feel at this stage they will be craving penalty shootout because somehow they are tired out. I was expecting that to be on the side of the Croatians, but somehow, I don't know, they just had one, they had an easy quarter-final game against Sweden. Then against Colombia, they had the penalty shootout. How come they are tired? The Croatians, maybe they are used to this, situation. Yeah. So really, psychologically, they are more or less fired up, for extra time. And, so I just knew since they couldn't get the second goal in the first half, out of those chances they had, and the Croatians came back on, and put a goal, I knew that the momentum, somehow would be on the side of the Croatians. And it's been showing up, and they've been getting closer. I just hope gets the penalty, and I really want to see England in the final.
You never know in your bong, it's football. Anything can still happen. At this point, character might just do it for either of the team.
Absolutely. And at this point, you begin to worry for the English side a bit because of the lack of experience in that team, because most of these players haven't been in this situation before. You could talk about the second round game against Colombia. It was second round. The nerves in the second round game is not the same in the semi-finals game. And the Croatian players, the Luka Modric, the Ivan Rakitic, these are guys who, at their club level, they play with this same level of pressure on them, and they play high-profile competitions, and they understand the pressure at this point, and they've been able to see of 2 penalty kicks already and see of extra times already, so they understand how to navigate this kind of game. So I think the advantage would be on Croatia at this point in time, but you never know football. You never know. The English side could bring people on with Rashford. You never know. He's got real quality about him, and he's someone who can turn on the afterburners and get things happening. And I think it's just a game that is too difficult to call.
That's right. It's a very difficult match with all of the fans and the expectations. 78,011 fans right there at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow and making all of the noise. But now everyone will just be humble and like, oh, so where is this one going to? Well, we told you it's in the second half of extra time now, so we will continue to monitor it and let's see how it's going to pan. Before we leave this, goalkeepers can make a difference. We saw what Jordan Pickford did against Colombia, but Subasic has been outstanding.
It's been absolutely, and considering the fact that he was injured the last time, I thought he wouldn't make it.
No, they couldn't afford to put him on the bench. So no, shake it off.
And the way he was treated, he immediately stood up, and fired up, and was able to play well. The penalty shootout, made great saves as well. The first kick and then subsequent ones. It's been very, very massive for Croatia, and I mean, they really want to have him there, and they are glad that he's there to stay.
Goalkeepers have made a good statement at this World Cup.
Clearly, they have, and people like Jordan Pickford, I'm sure his stock would rise from here to here because of a terrific World Cup he's had. Apart from the penalty kicks, he's been brilliant against Sweden. I thought it was my man of the match because he stood between the Swedish team and a semi-final berth, and I thought it was brilliant. And even in the penalties against Colombia, he showed himself strong and quite qualitative, I should say, in terms of the level he's shown at this tournament. And it's great to see Subasic as well. Against Denmark, he became only the second goalkeeper to save 3 spot kicks in a shootout. It was quite great. Ricardo, the Portuguese goalkeeper, did it in 2006 against England. So I think goalkeepers have been at a premium. Even the Danish goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, was brilliant.
I mean, Dad said, look, I'm not sad seeing my son do this. Michael Schumacher said, look, this is beautiful. It is when they watch it on TV that they will know that they fought and they lost gallantly.
Courtois as well.
Akinfeev also.
Akinfeev, brilliant. Akinfeev, but brilliant. The save to send Spain out of the tournament from Iago Aspas, the flick from the leg was quite. It was technical. I mean, a lot of goalkeepers, you'd see them when they are facing goalkeepers, they just decide, I'm going right or I'm going left, and then they go bang. And then, but his leg was still up there, and goalkeepers have done themselves a good job, and I'm sure some clubs in Europe will be preparing the checkbook to dole out for people like Schmeichel, maybe Subasic and the like. So great tournament for goalkeepers.
So it seems like the trophy won't be coming home because Mario Mandzukic has just scored for Croatia.
You know, and
I don't know.
I had this feeling.
You know, I said it. I said it that the Croatians look like a team that would get the second goal. You know, from time I've always felt that the English team was tiring out. I was expecting, you know, that kind of momentum to be on the side of, you know, the Croatians, seeing that they've actually been.
What a time to concede.
And also,
you just mentioned it.
I said it earlier. The experience. I mean, you're having too many old heads in that Croatian dressing room. There's Luka Modric, there's Rakitic, there's Mandzukic, and these guys are
about 7 players have played 3 Champions League finals.
And these are guys who understand pressure. These are guys who understand. They play season in, season out. At the back end of the season, there's a lot of pressure on you. You need to win a trophy. And when you have Modric, you have Rakitic, you have Mandzukic, you have Brozovic. These are guys who understand pressure and they know how to hold their nerves in this sort of position. With the English side, you're looking at Lingard, you're looking at Rashford. These are young players. I mean, you're looking at Trippier. These are good players, but they don't understand this level of pressure. They haven't been in this position before. So you'd always fancy a team who've been there and done that. And what a story it would be for Croatia to get to the World Cup final and take nothing away from the English side. They've done themselves a great deal.
I actually felt that they would have, you know, they would have soaked up the pressure the way they did. You know, when they played Colombia, when Colombia scored, you know, I was impressed the way they handled themselves. You know, momentum was on the side of the Colombians, but somehow they were calm. You know, they didn't panic at all and gradually got into the game. I thought that it would be the same this time around, you know, but the experience of the Croatians and the fact that they have players who have been at this level, who have played at this level for a very long time, and in this tournament in particular, they've actually had the experience of 2 extra times. So somehow psychologically they know how to kick into this mood, and the English team, irrespective of their experience, they are known because most of the understanding they have has been more of coaching, you know, than more of experience. In terms of experience, the Croatians have players who are experienced, who have played at this level for over a prolonged period of time.
And they have shown maturity match after match. Remember, scored an extra time goal against Russia, and now they have another extra time goal against.
And even conceded. Let's just hope that we conceded.
5 more minutes to play.
You never know. You just never know.
Anything can happen. So let's see if England can clap back, just go out and fight. We're injured, we're wounded, but let's just give it a final push. We'll continue to monitor that, so we will not go out of the zone of the World Cup. But let's just get on with the show with one eye on the World Cup. Let me let you know what's going on right there at the Wimbledon Tennis Championship. Defending champion Roger Federer was sent out of the competition today by an African player. He's from South Africa. His name is Kevin Anderson. It was a difficult one, but Federer was beaten. It was a very packed match, and the crowd out there, of course, you know, would have been supporting Roger Federer, but Kevin Anderson stayed and said, look, if they want to talk about an upset, I can bring it today. And he went on to win. So that's it right there. Shout out to Kevin Anderson.
Big one.
Tells us a lot. We've been talking about this guy, all going for the different ATP, and he's growing, getting matured, and now it's going to be in the semi-finals of Wimbledon.
Big one, massive one for his career, because he's been there and about 80 these days. He's done a great job, and to think that Federer was serving for the match in the third set. I mean, it was nearly there. It was nearly there, but he didn't take advantage of it. And credit to Anderson for showing great grit and determination to claw himself back into the game. And when you beat Roger Federer, you can take a picture with him and hang it in your room, and tell your grandchildren, I beat the great Roger Federer. And it was a massive achievement for him.
At the press conference, Federer describes the loss as terrible. Terrible because, of course, you know, Baba, of course, if I call him in tennis, he loves winning and then always chasing those records. So a shout out for Kevin Anderson. Novak Djokovic says, no, I'm not going back home yet. I'm still going to be here. And he's through to the semi-finals at the Wimbledon Tennis Championship after beating Kai Nishikori. He then has 6-3, 3-6, 6-2, 6-2. He was qualified for the semi-finals for the 8th time, and his first since 2015. We've been saying it that it's about time for Djokovic to tell us that he is the champion that we used to know.
Yeah, he's had a terrible, ATP season, losing out to players that people never saw him losing to. You know, I was listening to Andy Murray earlier in the day. He said that he's quite impressed with Djokovic is playing, and the way he's looking at it, he might actually go all the way and win this Grand Slam. So he's learned his lessons, and he feels much better. And to be able to take out Kai Nishikori, one of the top seeds, you know, in tennis these days, considering the fact that he's coming back from injury, shows that indeed his form has peaked. And he's Wimbledon. I mean, he's used to this surface, and not like the clay court that he struggled with. And I'm glad that he's back, and let's see how it goes. Now that Federer is out, it's pretty much open, and you know what I mean, he can go all the way. Let's see
the Japanese Kai Nishikori playing Djokovic on grass for the first time and sticking to end a 12-match losing streak against the Serb. So it was almost impossible for Kai, but he held the serve in the third set to 3-2 before running out of steam to go 4-2 down against an opponent in merciless form. Novak Djokovic in Albon saying, all of the bad press I'm getting him will stop at Wimbledon.
He's determined. He's very determined. I've had my reservations about him because I think he's been in a hurry to get back absolutely. And try to be back in the game and get to his best form. And for people like Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic has got to sit down and say, how does he do it? How does he manage himself? How does he choose competitions he plays in? But Djokovic has been in a bit of a hurry, but he's slightly getting back to his best, and we hope he gets to the final, and I hope Rafael Nadal gets to the final. I'd like to see those two match up in the final. But Novak Djokovic clearly has something to prove. You could see with the fire in his eyes, he's doing really, really wonderfully. And we're just glad to see some of the best tennis players, legends in the business, come back and really show what they can do at the top level.
I remember at the French Open when he lost out, he was close to tears. At the stage, he was kind of, you know,
the
insinuating.
First time since 2015 that is getting to the semis.
So
Novak Djokovic,
the one and only.
So he just looks like.
So at the stage, it was almost as if he could retire. You know, it was something that he was considering at that point. The frustration really got to him. He wasn't sure of coming to, you know, attending Wimbledon. But I'm glad that I'm sure he'll be very, very excited. Even if he crashes out now, I don't see him doing so. He will be glad that indeed he was among the top 4 at the end of the tournament.
That's right. So let's just touch base with the women. Serena Williams, you know the story. She came from behind to overcome Italian Camilla Giorgi 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. It was a tight quarter-final clash on Tuesday. As you know, the story also that Serena is bidding to win an 8th Wimbledon title, and she just gained momentum by beating Giorgi. And everybody said, oh, she's just had a child. Oh, she's not going to give us the best. She just said, okay, let me see. She's taking it one match at a time in Wimbledon. And as you know, Serena's seeing the semis. It's as good as winning the title.
They say it's temporary. Class, they say it's permanent, and she's absolute class. She's on another level. She's someone who she knows that when she gets in her groove, when she gets in her game, she can be unplayable. And she's proving to the doubters because she's had her critics after giving birth, and everyone has talked about it would take her some time before she can get back to her best. But my goodness gracious me, you wouldn't put it past her in this tournament that she can go on and go all the way. It's a great one for Serena Williams. Really, really pleased to see her at the peak of her playing powers.
I always believe that it was a matter of time. You know, her class has always been there. She's been struggling, trying to get back to form. I always knew that at some point. I mean, Wimbledon is a tournament that she's very much used to, won it several times, and she's very much at home with the court, with the spectators and everybody. Very much at home, bidding to be the second woman to win the Grand Slam after Justine Henin won it. You know, after having a baby, after Justine Henin won it. She has the ability to do it. Now that she's in the semi-final, you can't really bet.
They had a baby, came back, and I won the US Open. So let's see what she can do. Up next for the 23-time Grand Slam winner, Serena Williams, is German 13th seed Julia Giorgis, who also overcame an early blip in a quarterfinal match to defeat close friend Kiki Bertens 3-6, 7-5, 6-1. So that's women's tennis for you. Continue to monitor it. Can Serena make history once again? Can she get us talking? It's Serena Williams. Without anything can happen. I must say thank you so much, guys, for coming around in Yobong Monday. And Joseph Mukuze, I know they want to run back to that match now, which should be about getting to the closing stages. And it's still Croatia 2, England 1. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, athletics in Nigeria, we get our attention. Don't go anywhere. Stay.